Scotty's Castle is a very unique museum. In most museums, if you take the artifacts out of the museum, it's just an empty building. Here, the entire structure is part of the museum as well. So when you take the artifacts out, it's like removing the heart and soul out of your museum, because the building's still here. And we won't be whole until we're able to bring those artifacts back and put them on display. The public connects to the past through this collection when they come to visit Scotty's Castle, and they're actually able to see the original artifacts in place, exactly where the Johnsons had them. When you do that tour through the castle, you're not just seeing the incredible metalwork and the woodwork and the incredible leather drapes, but you're seeing the furniture and the tapestries. You're seeing the leather cushions where Death Valley Scotty and the Johnsons actually sat. To have that connection available to people for simply just walking through is absolutely amazing.
The flood provided us an opportunity to remove collections from the building for conservation and preservation work. We never would have been able to do some of this work without removing those collections from the site. Our official nonprofit partner, the Death Valley Natural History Association, has been helping us with funding for all of our conservation projects related to the museum collections. So the conservation of the upper music room curtains, the reproduction of the leather curtains, the restoration of the organ, and the conservation treatment of the silver were all greatly or partially funded by the Death Valley Natural History Association, something for which the park is very grateful.
DVNHA has a long connection specifically with the theater organ here, and we were thrilled when we were able to say that restoration project is now fully funded. So when Scotty's reopens and we have the big grand opening, we're going to be able to do it to music from the organ, and that organ is going to play better than it has probably in the last 30 or 40 years.
I'm Louis Patterson. I'm the Vice President and Plant Superintendent here at Schoenstein & Company in Benicia, California. We're here to get an update on where we are with the restoration of the pipework and other parts we brought back from Scotty's Castle about 2 years ago. So we're going to take a look at several kinds of pipes that we have here. This is part of the tuba stop, sort of a trumpet sounding stop, and the resonators that you see out here at the end have all been cleaned and straightened up and repaired as necessary. We have one of the tibia pipes, and while it's been completely cleaned, it was brought back mainly to re-leather this, what we call a stopper. The leather fails after many years, especially out in the desert, and the stopper needs to fit tightly and to hold its position to stay in tune. So these pipes have been re-leathered and all ready to go back into the organ. Working on Scotty's Castle is a very special treat and a job. It's interesting because it's a house organ, but its location makes it quite unique out in the middle of the desert. We're hoping to finish up our work on this portion of the project this fall, and we can go back out to the castle and reinstall these portions and get the organ playing again. And we'll still have some time before it's open to the public to do any other work, refurbishing and cleaning up that needs to be done.
collections are already starting to come back to the park, and feels really good. The collections are associated with Scotty's Castle and Death Valley National Park, and this is where they belong. They bring the castle to life. Without them, it's a very different experience. It's a very hollow experience. So we're really excited about that. It's some movement after a long period of not seeing our collections.
We all have to realize that Scotty's Castle is going to reopen. And when it reopens, it's going to be better than it was. You're going to have a chance to see all of the items that were in the castle before. There's going to be so many things that the visiting public had never seen before and didn't realize was an issue that are going to be taken care of to make their visit a lot smoother. Every time I start thinking about Scotty's Castle, I can't help but think of how much fun that grand opening is going to be.